How's it going, everyone? So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you my favorite boss damage build. My favorite weapon in the game got its catalyst just recently, and its catalyst gave it Vorpal weapon, and I did a PvP video on it, but I want to do a PvE video on it because most of my content is PvP, but I definitely play a lot of PvE and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to show you what I like to do, and after this weapon got its buff, I've been out DPSing most, if not every single person in every raid fire team I've been in for boss damages. So I'm going to be showing you exactly what I use and how it works out, and it is super simple and very easy. So first off, you obviously need Malfeasance with its catalyst. And then to pair that, we got Lucky Pants. Lucky Pants, if you don't know what it does, when you have your gun, when you have your hand cannon fully loaded, and when you swap to it, so you have to be holding either a different weapon and then swap over to your Malfeasance at full mag. As long as you don't have the out of luck perk on, you'll have a stacking damage buff that will go towards every round you shoot. So you shoot one round, it's ×1. Second round will go ×2, so on and so forth until you hit 10 damage buff. I don't know the exact numbers on it, and I'm not going to be too crazy specific on every single little thing here, but basically you get a damage buff with every round, and then that lasts for a certain amount of time and then runs out and then has a refresh timer. So the idea is that you're using Malfeasance with Lucky Pants to get all the damage out of that, and then while you're waiting for that refresh timer, you're using your other two weapons. These two are absolutely perfect for most bosses that are up close, but this weapon, your energy weapon, can be changed out more often than your heavy weapon. I recommend using a rocket launcher. This Apex Predator I have here is absolutely perfect with recon and explosive light. Makes it super good for boss damage. Reconstruction, reloading your weapon without it even being equipped, so you can do what you usually do when you get to a damage phase, and I'll show it during the phases, is that you start with your rocket, you shoot your rockets, go to Malfeasance, you got your damage going, and then by the time that runs out, you go back to your rocket, it's going to be completely loaded. And then you still have your timer for Malfeasance, so you'll swap over to your energy weapon, which is the loaded question here. You'll shoot 2 rounds. Then you'll have enough for 1 rocket in Apex Predator. After you shoot that rocket, you'll have time for your Malfeasance, and that's the completely rotation. And I think one of the best parts about this build is that you do not need to do arc. You can do literally any subclass you want. I highly recommend doing one that's not a roaming super, so that you have time to use your weapons, like Arc Strider if you have another teammate using Tether already. This one is great because the Gathering Storm super does a lot of damage. Blade Barrage has the same effect where you can just pop it off and you're dealing damage with that, and then you can immediately go to your weapons. Or if you need Tether and you need to help your teammates, you throw on Tether and then you're buffing everyone's damage. So I really like this build. It's been what I've been using ever since it got buffed, and I even used it beforehand and it was still really good, but this is so much better. And then here are my 2 substitutes for Loaded Question. I like Loaded Question a lot when the boss is a lot closer, just because of how much damage it does with Controlled Burst. But you can obviously use something like First In Last Out with the auto-loading Vorpal. And then if something's further away, like I'll show with King's Fall, the auto-loading Vorpal on a sniper or firing line, if you have that. Auto-loading firing line is very good. And the reason why I have auto-loading on all these weapons is because you're swapping back between the rocket and Malfeasance, so having them completely loaded, never having to reload, is absolutely amazing. So here is the full build, and one other thing is, I'm not too picky on the fragments and the aspects. I kind of just go with what I like nothing here. I'm sure you could, if you really wanted to go through and get all the perfect damage buffing or any sort of little improvements. Like you could go solar and get radiance, and that would be really good, but you don't absolutely need it. You can still get by with just doing whatever you want. So here's all the mods for all the armor. You can pause the video at any point. And here are the weapons. So yeah, I'm gonna do a couple raids. I think we'll do the King's Fall, the Root of Nightmares, probably Deep Stone, and yeah, let's jump right into it. Now really quickly before we start this, I just wanted to say that this is all done through LFG, because all of my friends that play this game aren't really into it right now. They're kind of off doing their own thing, so I had to do LFG for all of these. So take everything with a grain of salt. I still think that it does a good representation of the damage numbers, but obviously there's still margin for error. I definitely messed up on this Oryx one a couple times, And yeah, just keep that in mind. I still think that it's a great representation of what this loadout is capable of, and I still think that it is really good. And every time I've done raids, it's always through LFGs, and I've still come out almost every time on top of the damage numbers. So yeah, just wanted to mention that real quick before we started.
Maybe we should use gathering stones at different times.
Yeah, I swapped to Feather because I noticed it much easier.
This is like a guaranteed 2 days, right?
You got all bombs covered.
Who is taking the left side ground ammo?
I can do it.
I know, but it's screwed with it.
Oh, well, he's on DPS plate.
That good?
Oh man. I hit him when he was.
Oh, no way, I missed that. One more really quick thing. You notice how I can't see my out of luck debuff in the the bottom left of the screen? The little timer that's supposed to tell me when I'm allowed to use my Malfeasance damage buff again? Yeah, Bungie, please do something about that. I'm so tired of not being able to tell when my out of luck timers run out because there's too many debuffs or buffs and I can only have a maximum of 4 on my screen at a time. So frustrating.
Always shoot him. Spend the box more.
Are you kidding me? It means like 3 rockets.
What?
Oh, touchdown.
I have nothing.
Not as good. There we go. Another thing really quick, I didn't ever find anyone that was doing Deepstone, and I couldn't find anyone doing Garden Salvation or Last Wish or Vault of Glass boss damage or boss phases. So I thought Ghost of the Deep was the next best thing. I thought it was actually even better than those because it's relevant right now, and I feel like it's a pretty good test of the measurement because of the light level right now. So this run, it was a little botched again, and I still think it's pretty impressive. I know there's probably going to be people in the comments talking crap, being like, oh, I did like 30 phases, so of course you had a lot of damage. But I mean, either way, it was a lot of fun, and I still thought the damage numbers at the end were pretty nuts. So here it is. Man, that boss dodges way too much crap. No way! What? That was the last thing I expected from that. Oh, there's no way. Alright. What? That is the last thing I expected. Look like an orca. Oh. I think that's the most damage I've ever done in any encounter of anything.